Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Gianna Lian and I basically just bring you along throughout my life. As you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I have a book haul for you guys, and there's a lot of books here. I think this might be one of the biggest book hauls that I've had on my channel before, which is so exciting. We have some really good reads that I recently picked up, and I'm so excited to finally share these with you guys. I picked some of these up a little while ago, but I wanted to wait till I had a decent amount to show you guys. Some of these I actually was gifted by my mom because turns out she bought a lot of books a while ago and just never read them, so she gave them to me to put on my bookshelf. But some of them, when I went through them, I did actually find interesting, so I wanted to show you guys as well. The first one that we have is The Honeys. Okay, so first of all, there's a sticker there, so I can't see the author, so I'll have to insert the author's name because I don't remember what it is. But I got The Honeys. First of all, this cover, stunning. Stunning, absolutely obsessed. It is in a hardback, which I don't really like hardbacks, but I had to get it. Like, there was no other options. I have heard so many good things about this book. Actually, my Goodreads friend, one of them, she is obsessed with this one. She says how amazing it was, so I knew after hearing that especially, I had to get it. But I don't know too much about this book, to be honest. I think there's gonna be lots of drama, lots of fun action going on. I honestly had no idea what this book was about before I bought it, but knowing how much people love this book, I just had to grab it anyways. And also because I honestly don't hear a lot on like Booktok and stuff like that. Like, it's not that popular. Hopefully it will be really good. The next book I have is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I got this at a used bookstore down in Toronto. I got this book for $7.99 and it's basically in perfect condition. There's a few little folds, but like for $7.99, this was a steal. This book is normally $25. I knew I had to get it. Plus Alice Feeney, I own another one of her books, The Hunting Party, but I also have not read that one, so I still have not read a book by her. But this book is about Mr. and Mrs. Wright, and it says that things have been wrong with Mr. and Mrs. Wright for a long time. Every anniversary, the couple exchange traditional gifts, cotton, pottery, tin, and each year Adam's wife writes him a letter that she never lets him read until now. Self-confessed workaholic and screenwriter Adam Wright has lived with face blindness his whole life. He can't recognize friends or family or even his own wife, and Amelia is sick of feeling unseen. When Adam and Amelia went a weekend away to Scotland, it might just be what their marriage needs. They both know this weekend will make or break their marriage, but they didn't randomly win this trip. One of them is lying, and someone doesn't want them to live happily ever after. 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secrets, and an anniversary they will never forget. This book seems super messed up. Some other people that I've talked to about this book say that it didn't even make sense, and they're like, what is going on? I don't understand this. Like, a lot of the people just don't even know what to think about the book. I'm curious to see if maybe I'll understand it and have like a better take on it than some of the other people that I know that have read it. I'm really excited about this one because I have heard pretty good things. The next book we have is a Christmas book. I am so excited. I actually want to go book shopping for Christmas books, but I'll have to wait until after I get back from Costa Rica. Book shopping will be here when I come back. But here we have There's Something About Mary by Cody Hall, and it is a super chunky book. So I think this book is like 400 pages, so yeah. Apparently this is the second one in the series, but I don't think I have to read the first one in order to read this one. I think that they're standalones, but they're still connected. But I could be completely wrong. If you guys have read these, let me know down below in the comments. But this one it just seems like a perfect little cute Christmas book. I also have not read any Christmas books, so I knew that I had to read at least one. I have to read at least one, you know? I'll probably end up buying more though, knowing me. Yeah. So we follow our main character, Mary Winters, and her life as a whole this year has been a disaster. She really needs to cheer up this Christmas. And basically her family owns a tree farm that she wants to take over and manage herself, but her family doesn't feel like she can hold the reins herself. But she doesn't realize that the flirty outdoorsman that she's been chatting with online on one of her dating apps is actually the new farm's foreman. So she's actually working with him, and his name is Clark Griffin. And he is also a single dad, so we have a single dad trope. And I've never read a single dad romance before either, so I'm curious to see if I'll enjoy that. But I just really was drawn to this book. I don't know why, but maybe because it also has a pink cover, which then again, Christmas book covers are literally so cute. And there's a dog. We all know me and the books that have dogs on them. We all know that I have to buy them. But yeah, I have this one. Next, we have a book that I really bought out of my comfort zone. I was drawn into the cover yet again, but I don't know, like maybe I want to try reading a new genre that I've never read before. We have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And this is actually a classic. I have never read a classic. I remember I never read a poetry book before, and once I tried one, I really enjoyed it. So maybe that will be the same thing with classics. I've never been drawn into classics, but this one was actually recommended to me for like a first time classic book, which is perfect for me because I know nothing about them. So I didn't want to go into one that I'm like not going to understand or possibly just hate. But I got this book for $10, which is pretty insane for how nice it looks. But the back says, to examine the causes of life, we must first have resource to death. I became acquainted with the science of anatomy, but this was not sufficient. I must also observe the natural decay and corruption of the human body. I don't really know what I'm gonna feel going into this. I definitely really wanted to get my hands on a classic, and I feel like this one is just gonna be a pretty good one. Hopefully it will spike my interest in classics so I can read more. The next book I have is very popular. It is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, and we all know that this is also one of the books that broke the internet. It is a very chunky book, but I've heard some very mixed opinions on this book, to be honest. I don't know, I still really want to read it and get into this like universe. It does have tabs on it because this is actually from another one of my videos. You guys can watch that right up here, or it will be linked down below in the description as always. Yeah, go watch that because that will explain everything. But I'm so excited to have my hands on this book. Basically, what I know about this book is that it's basically Gossip Girl, but make it British. And I hear how toxic it is. Like, it's toxic to the point where it's like not enjoyable. And I don't read too many toxic books because I tend to stay away from them. But I am curious about this one because of how much hype it got. And I also just want to see if it's really worth it and really worth all the love that it got in the book community. And if I enjoy it, then I will pick up the other two in the series as well. The next one that I have is Panada. I did show this in my last video, but it was just briefly, by Leopoldo Gout, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but this cover is very interesting, very unique, very enticing is what I should say, because it looks really cool. It's actually horror, supernatural, and adult. Like, it's like those are kind of like the genres. This book seems very interesting and something that I also have never read before. It's also a pretty short book as well. I think that there's a lot of, well, obviously supernatural things, but this book is gonna bring some suspense. It's gonna be confusing and twisty and dark, and I'm very excited to get into something that I haven't really read before. I also won this in a Goodreads giveaway. I highly recommend you guys enter some giveaways because you'd be surprised, and I got a free book out of it. Okay, and the next three books that I have are the books that I took from my mom, the ones that she didn't want to read. I have heard of one of these, but the other two I have never heard of, but they seemed interesting to me. So the first one is The Keeper by Jessica Moore. This is a very short book. It's probably why she bought it, to be honest. This book is supposed to be an addictive literary thriller about a crime as shocking as it is commonplace. This does seem very interesting, and especially if it's a shorter book, it is going to be a fast-paced thriller, which is perfect, especially in reading slumps. So I feel like if I ever am feeling myself get into a slump, like, I'm going to pick this book up. And the cover seems so scary. It just seems very, very, very like paranormal almost. This is basically about a girl's body gets pulled out of the river, and it was deemed as a standard female suicide, but the people who worked with the girl that died, they are convinced that this was not a suicide. This was a murder. While everyone is investigating this case and this murder now that they have on their hands, they uncover a lot of dark secrets, and basically just meaning like you cannot trust anyone. People are not who they say they are, and it just has a lot of twists and turns, it sounds like. I don't know. It sounds super interesting and super suspenseful and seems like a perfect book that I might want to pick up in the future. The next one, my mom has had this book forever. I don't even know if she finished it, but it is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. I actually know a decent amount of things about Tony Robbins because my dad loves Tony Robbins. He constantly talks about him and all of the insightful, motivating things that he has said and stuff like that. This is how to take immediate control of your mental, emotional, physical, and financial destiny. Seems like the perfect book, considering I am getting older and I always want to try working on bettering myself, like physically, mentally, financially, everything like that. So I feel like this book would be really good for me to read, even though it's pretty thick. It's just more of like a business self-help book. That's what I'm gonna call it. But I definitely think that this book does hold a lot of power. I haven't even read it, but seems like it could be life-changing. But Tony Robbins is super, super known. He is basically known for changing a lot of people's lives and really just diving into strategies on mastering so many different aspects of your life and just how to take control of your life. I hopefully will get around to reading this, maybe reading it over time, like slowly. I feel like that would be really good. And the last book is The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry, Simon. But this cover drew me in. Honestly, I have no idea what it's about. I think this is also another business self-help book. But I think in this book, it is basically about how the author has came up with the infinite game. Like, it's more based financially on like leaders and roles in the workforce, I think. It says, infinite games like business or politics or life itself, the players come and go, the rules are changeable, and there is no defined endpoint. There are no winners or losers in an infinite game. There is no such thing as winning business or winning life. For example, there is only ahead and behind. So I definitely think that this is also a book that could be very insightful for my future. But yeah, I don't know why I picked this one out of the bunch, but it seemed interesting to me, and hopefully I can get around to reading it. My TBR is so big, I don't know why I continue to add more. So many books and not enough time to read. Who's with me on that one? I know all of you are. But, oh girl, they're so heavy. Okay, but yeah, these are all the books that I have included in my little book haul for you guys. We got a very heavy stack, and I'm so excited to put these on my new, you guys heard me, new bookshelf. I finally got a bookshelf, guys. No more books being stacked on top of my desk, and everything just looks so pretty on my new bookshelf. But I did vlog it with you guys, so you can watch that right up there, or you can watch it down below because it will be linked down in the description. As always, that was a super fun vlog. My mom and I built my bookshelf together. Let's just say it was pretty chaotic. But anyways, you guys can go watch that. And if you guys want a bookshelf tour, let me know down below in the comments because I would love to do that as well. I think that is all I have for you guys today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little book haul. I just wanted to share some new books that I picked up over the last few weeks with you guys. But if you did, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff you guys know how to do. But with that being said, I hope you guys are having an amazing, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!